Now, from our central London studio is Chris Skinner, who's a banking analyst and chairman of the Financial Services Club. Chris, thank you very much for joining us here on BBC News. What was it, just in short, if you can, that there were the weaknesses in the Barclays model that made these job cuts unavoidable?
Well, Barclays had expanded dramatically in the last decade in investment banking. They had Barclays Capital, which became one of the biggest European investment banks. And equally, under Anthony Jenkins' predecessor, Bob Diamond, they bought what was left of Lehman Brothers after they collapsed in 2008 to create one of the largest investment banks in the world. And to a large extent, that's what's gone wrong, because casino banking doesn't work, regulations have cracked down, a lot of the products that they're dealing in are no longer making the profits they used to, so it's a loss-making division. And as a result, Anthony Jenkins is closing it down near enough.
And they haven't been as quick off the mark with their online presence, have they, as they might have been? So once they catch up, does it mean that we will see branches closing in the retail side?
Well, the retail side is affected. I mean, of the job losses today, 7,000 will be in the UK in the investment bank, but equally there will be losses in the retail bank as well, and that's naturally going to be because of technology. Around 400 branches, about 1 in 4 over the next decade will close, and that's just naturally because customers will be serving themselves on their mobile phones or other devices rather than going into a physical branch.
What's the key to the recovery then for Barclays? Because of course the government in particular is interested in that from our point of view as the taxpayers.
Well, I think it's quite intriguing that they've had a presence in Africa for a long time. So Absa Bank, which is a Barclays division there, is going to be a critical path to growth in emerging economies and developing economies. Equally, Barclaycard is a major division that's very innovative and has a strong presence in America as well as UK, and they are seen as a leader in their market space. And equally, retail and commercial banking. In the corporate banking space, they have a very good presence for the international companies they deal with, and they're highly respected in that space too. So those are the growth areas.
Of course, in the past, pre-2008, the banking sector was hugely important, wasn't it, for tax revenues in this country? How has that changed over the last 6 years?
Well, I know that we all like to see investment bankers being bashed because they get big bonuses and they're horrible, but to be honest, today's announcement is quite sad because it's the last investment bank in Britain and the last major investment bank in Europe announcing that they're going to shut down. Now that's actually what the regulators want, but the investment bank generated about 2/3 of Barclays' profits year on year. So effectively we're going to see billions of pounds lost from our gross domestic product from this sector. And that means losses in taxes, that means less to invest in public services. So that's a sad loss.
Is that ever likely to change, to go back to what it was?
Well, we can never go back to what it was because, as Vince Cable likes to say, casino banking is a bad thing. But we've really tightened the regulations in the sector immensely, both at a global level with the G20 and at the European level and at the UK level with the new regulatory structures. So we're not going to go back to what it was. What we see in the future is a strong retail and commercial bank in Barclays, equally in RBS, Lloyds, HSBC. That's really where the focus is, to be good old boring banks and not crazy casino banks.
Chris Skinner from the Financial Services Club, thank you very much for your time this evening. BBC News, and these are our headlines. Female soldiers could be allowed to fight on the front line for the first time by next year. Barclays shares jump after mass job losses are announced. 7,000 will go in the UK this year and